just a handful, matches going into the Big Ten. So, our mindset was just looking at the Big Ten. Obviously, you got to get through there, but just as, it's just all preparation, preparation for the national tournament, and then also just, but that's just should be the mindset all the time, regardless. Just trying to learn and just improve and get better every week, whether it's whether it's today or a week after the nationals or big. So I think I think this is unique season. I think the experience that our kids were able to get at the Big Ten championship is very valuable, and obviously it's up to us and them to just take advantage of that and to move forward.
Could you talk about the leadership of someone like Nick Lee and what he's done for these freshmen?
Yeah, I think Nick's he's a confident kid, and he does all the right things. So he's a great leader, work ethic wise. Aaron Brooks, same kind of thing. So you need leadership because situations, cases like this, it's not like we need to fire these guys up, get them ready to compete. It's more about just kind of helping them breathe and just relax and let's go have some fun and be the best we can be. So having guys that already have that experience, mentality, focus is very, very helpful.
Okay, thank you, Cael.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike. We'll go to Jake next.
Yeah, Cael, you just talked a little bit about Nick, even, him as a leader and how important he is. How have you seen him and Joe interact in the room, and how important do you think it's been for Joe to have Nick there, along with him?
Well, I think they obviously grew up together, training together, talking about their plans and their goals and everything together. I think Nick's probably a great big brother, just that he leads by example. And they definitely feed off of each other. I think that's anytime you have brothers on the same team, that's a challenge for the individuals because they wrestle each match. They wrestle their brother's match. I know personally, I had two brothers on the team that would wrestle before I did when I was in college, and it's something you have to manage. You have to manage your emotions because you want them to win so bad, and you just. So I think they're definitely feeding off each other. I think they're learning, and they've been on the same teams for a long time. I think Nick's important for just to kind of help Joe kind of bounce back after the Big Ten tournament and just believe in himself and know that he's capable of getting in there and doing some big things.
Ben, go ahead.
Cael, you guys were rather successful at the Big Ten tournament. How prepared do you guys feel going into NCAAs, and do you feel like you've learned something that you maybe didn't know before Big Tens?
I don't think you ever should be too surprised by results, right? Because the way we practice and we put these guys in tough situations and their strengths and their weaknesses. Obviously, you're trying to focus on strengths. But, I think we definitely came out of the Big Ten, disappointed, obviously. But I think when you take a step back and look at it, our team kind of wrestled probably above where we were supposed to, or at least to that level in the majority of the weight. So, but we just have this belief and expectation that we're going to just kind of have these just awesome performances every time. And so it's just kind of taking those small steps and kind of reevaluating, be like, okay, here we go. Let's just focus on what we can take care of. Definitely grateful for the opportunity to even be able to have a national championship and to be going with nine student athletes and just it's a team that they care about one another. So just we have a lot to really be excited about and definitely excited about the opportunity to be able to compete for national championship next week. But it still comes down to just each individual just being the best they can be. That's really kind of our focus, and that's how we'll probably get our best results. But we're excited about next week. I still believe we'll have our best tournament at the nationals. That's kind of how we gear everything.
Andy Elder, go ahead.
Cael, the Big Ten tournament can be eye-opening, especially for freshmen. Have you seen any changes in attitude or approach from the freshmen now that they've been through the Big Ten and know what it's like to be under fire and that much pressure in a tournament like that?
Yeah, I think they've been in there. I think, anytime you jump levels and you wrestle in a new event, I mean, there's just maybe some uncertainty. So I think, yeah, definitely confidence levels, regardless of the outcome, have definitely jumped. And just kind of knowing that we're close. Those guys are close. Everyone's close. Just make some minor adjustments, but go into the nationals and let's just see what we can do. Let's just go in there with a smile on our face, and easier said than done too. And that depends on the team you have and the kids and the personalities. But yeah, I feel like we had a great experience at the Big Ten. Kind of got our butts kicked a little bit, but still kind of showed that we get a takedown here or finish this or do that we're close.
Jake?
Yeah, Cael, obviously Brady, it was his first tournament in, close to over a year, and he came back and qualified, which he hadn't done in a while. How impressed have you been by what you've seen from Brady? And, what do you think it says about him that he's sort of stuck with it through everything that he's been through?
Yeah, Brady's just an awesome guy, young man. I mean, he's overcome a lot. He's worked really hard to get back. What he went through it's not like he hurts his knee or his shoulder or something, and you have a surgery and come back. I mean, it's a lot more complicated than that, and he's done everything he can, and I'm really, really proud of him and just happy for him. And obviously this next week it's just a great opportunity for him to just kind of even take things up one notch. We've seen he's right there with top guys and very capable of doing very well at the nationals.
Ben?
Cael, Carter Sirachi was recently named Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Aaron Brooks won the award last year. What kind of example does that set for the young guys coming into your program, already in your program? And what does that say about you guys moving forward?
Well, I think that's important for any program, right? You got to have your freshmen believing that they're supposed to win. I think that's one of the reasons we've been successful is just having kids place high at the nationals and having 4-time All-Americans and kids placing and actually competing for national championships, all 4 years of their careers. But yeah, Carter, he's very confident and he works very hard, and he's obviously very talented in addition to that. So, he believes, he believes that he's supposed to win, and he's a tough kid too. I mean, we've seen him win some tough matches against some very experienced, very tough wrestlers, and it's nice to have that. And we know it's kind of a funny year too, because he's got 4 more years after this year, so it's just kind of the same with everybody. So so this year is a great year to gain experience, but it's not just about experience. I mean, you have an opportunity to go compete and win a national championship. I think that's pretty exciting.
Andy?
Cael, for a guy like Greg Kerkvliet, who is obviously very talented, has been very successful, what do you think he learned from wrestling some guys who are bigger than him and maybe as athletic that he could use going into nationals?
Yeah, I think Greg he did a really nice job. He won the matches that he had to win, right? He did it convincingly, and he ran into arguably lost to the 2 of the top 3 guys in the country that have been very consistent with a lot of experience. And with the situation that he faced, I mean, him even competing this year is I won't say it's a miracle, but it's definitely was unexpected. When I said that we weren't expecting him back, we weren't expecting him back. He literally, I think I said a week or so ago, he got cleared a couple hours before weigh-in. So, and it wasn't like he was training. He wasn't cleared to train. So he just jumped in there. People are wondering, well, why is he a little smaller? Well, you can kind of put two and two together and realize, well, he wasn't training, he wasn't able to do anything. So, you know, he'll be that experience is good for him, and he's gonna do well at the nationals. You know, I'm excited for him. He's looking really good. Mindset's good. Body's looking good, getting bigger and stronger. And that for him, the Big Ten was definitely preparation. You know, it was more about, all right, let's get some matches in, let's train, and you know, get ready for the NCAA tournament.
Jake?
Yeah, Cael, sticking with Greg, you know, we just talked to Aaron, you know, obviously I know Aaron and Greg both spent some time out at the Olympic Training Center with Kevin Jackson. And, you know, obviously Greg's had good heavyweight partners in the room and Kassar and Neville's. I mean, how important do you think all of those experiences have been for Greg's development?
Yeah, well, I mean, Greg's always sought out the best competition. He's always, even in high school, when you're watching, he was bumping up to wrestle the best guys that he could. And that's something, even this fall, you know, when we were wrestling those matches, those rock fin matches, he wanted the best guy we could get for him. You know, as a freshman in college, that's impressive. I mean, and we've seen, you know, what he can do. He's a competitor. He loves to compete, and he's a really great wrestler. So I think having great training partners, he's a guy that, you know, he wants to have a great training partner every day. You know, if we put him with somebody that he doesn't feel like is going to challenge him, he's not going to like that. You know, he's not a guy that's looking for somebody that he can score 100 points on in practice. So I think you know, he's got all the right qualities and characteristics, and I think this you know, this week and a half, of course, it's always up to the guys. You know, we're just here to support them and help them go after their goals and be positive and make sure they have the training partners and a system that they can, but they're going to grow and go and at their speed, you know, just generally speaking. So, you know, I feel like Greg's going to be, he's ready to go. And he's going to be right in there, you know, so, but we were glad. I mean, kid was I don't know what he was ranked, but taken fourth in the Big Ten as a freshman with a week of training, which is not even training because you're actually just getting ready to compete. It's pretty good. So we're very happy and we're pleased with his potential moving forward here.
Ben, go ahead.
Cael, coming out of Big Ten, some of your guys have seen some of the more talented wrestlers in the nation. Big Ten's loaded with talent. Going to nationals, do you think having that familiarity kind of gives you a leg up or any kind of advantage going forward?
Well, I think the Big Ten it's just tough. You know, that first match, you're wrestling a really good wrestler. You know, it's I think, you know, a guy like Bo Bartlett doesn't qualify for the nationals, but there's no question in my mind he's right there with anybody. It's just the Big Ten is first round up. You got, you know, a potential All-American. Second matchup, potential All-American. Third matchup, you know, so that's exciting. You know, that's part of one of the reasons kids go to the Big Ten. The preparation and just you got to be ready to go and the toughness that it requires. So I think it's a blessing and something that, you know, history would show. You know, the Big Ten has had just a ton of success, especially, well, yeah, forever. So that's something that we take a lot of pride in, I think, as a conference, and, you know, all of our coaches and the different programs across the conference are, you know, we're very, very aware of and proud of.
We'll take two last ones and then let Coach go. Andy first, and then Jake, you'll close it out after Andy.
Cael, it seemed like every match, Robbie Howard looked like he was more confident and showed more offense. How excited are you to see what he does at nationals, and how much more is there to his game that we have yet to see?
Yeah, I think Robert Howard just getting started. You know, he had a major surgery after the state tournament as a senior, which was a year ago. So it's not like he was in here training all summer and all fall and then, you know, just developing and you know, he was rehabbing and getting back to being healthy most of that year. So it just shows you, I mean, he's a very talented kid. He loves to compete. You know, he has some spark and some fire, and his best days are definitely ahead. So yeah, he's man, I don't know about you, but all I can see is Justin Bash's cartoon character on the screen. I don't know why everyone else doesn't have one of those. That'd be a lot more fun, Bash. Yeah, I think Howard's just getting going here, and again, Big Ten was great preparation for him to kind of see that he can go with the best guys, and we're excited for next week for him as well.
Jake, go ahead, close us out.
Yeah, Cael, Aaron talked about it a little bit, but obviously, Olympic trials are sort of right around the corner. Same thing with last chance qualifier. For you as a coach, I know obviously NCAAs are top priority, but how quickly do you envision, getting these guys prepped for the freestyle circuit and for the Olympic trials? And, what do you think is going to go into that?
Well, I think, yeah, it's going to come up quickly. It's just a couple weeks after the nationals. So, these college kids they're ready to go. I think, history would show that, our college kids do really well coming off of their college seasons, getting into these Olympic, the Olympic freestyle wrestling. They're in great shape and all those things. So I'm, but we'll worry about that, after the NCAA tournament. But yeah, guys that, like Aaron, obviously, he has, very high aspirations and goals, and the Olympics is part of that. So yeah, so that's something that it's, you need to kind of make a few modifications and adjustments, but wrestling's wrestling, and he'll be in great shape and ready to roll for the trials. You got to win the nationals to get in there, right? So we got to take care of, you got to just take it one match at a time, and let's just go wrestle right now.
Cael, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning. Safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you and your guys in St. Louis next week.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Cael.